What up, what up? It's been a while since I made a video. I'm probably gonna lose a lot of y'all motherfuckers on this joint, but hey, that's fine with me. Um, I'm here for the truth. I'm not here to keep shit comfortable. I ain't here to keep you comfortable and relaxed. I'm here to help you understand why this world works the way it works and how it works. Um, Shout out to Soul on Ice. Please go follow him on Instagram, soul underscore on underscore ice underscore. Um, he's got a lot of good content. I just ran across his page, and I wanted to show you all this. Let me help you understand exactly how it works. Because yeah, we can talk reptilians all day and tell you that reptilians are here, blah blah blah, but people don't fully understand it on a scientific level, or just a I don't know, just a um, I don't even know what to call it, on a different level. You know what I mean? Not just like a general basis or general understanding of what it is. And this guy goes into detail and explains it. So not very long, 7 minutes, a little bit over 7 minutes, but it's probably gonna be a little bit longer because I might throw in my little commentary, here and there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, tune into this. It's good shit, man.
Non-human entities live among us covertly, reminiscent of the 80s movie, They Live. Most of them are interdimensional reptilian beings who have somehow found a way into this holographic simulation. They're in our holographic playground, our consciousness projection, and are not of the same love essence, meaning they have no other option but to connect themselves to our secondary inorganic oversoul. Because of this, they are literally dependent upon our negative emotions to remain alive and able to function properly in this matrix.
Now, this is why the news, TV, even entertainment feeds you fear, anxiety, being scared, just negative emotion, period. This is what they feed off of. I was thinking about it, and to generally put it, I used to be a skateboarder. I skateboarded for almost 10 years of my life. And there would be times where, go up to like a 4 or 5 set when I wasn't that good, you know what I mean? I'm sitting there like, man, I fuck this up, I'm gonna hurt myself, you know what I mean? But that's that shit. If I would have envisioned it, set my intent, gave it love, gave it positive, intentions, whatever, emotions, and then just went for it, it would manifest itself. Because, like with everything, if if you want to manifest something, you got to envision that you already have it. You got to live like you already got it. You got to, carry yourself like you're whatever you want to be, or whatever you're trying to get, whatever the case is. And the more and more intentions you set to it, the more and more focus you send to it, the quicker it comes.
So if the secondary oversoul were eliminated tomorrow, they would literally all vanish. So they have created a system which aims to keep the Archon mind virus fed. As long as humanity feels pain, suffering, and hatred, they are able to plug into this reality. You could say they are the incarnate form of this parasitic division consciousness, while we are the incarnate form of unity consciousness. Most of our celebrities, politicians, and high-status figures are not human. They are reptilian at the core, sharing very little human qualities, but enough to blend in. You can actually easily distinguish these cloaked entities. Flawless rubber-like skin texture, highly symmetrical faces, empty eyes. When you look at the royal families, politicians, celebrities, these similarities become clear. They lack the subtle micro-expressions that are hallmark to a true human face, and this is because they're void of true empathy and curiosity. The faces we see on the news, in the government, at the award shows, these beings look distinctly different compared to a true human, but since they're the ones in the public eye, we're used to them. Their inhuman appearance has become the standard when we turn on the TV or read a newspaper. There are 3 ways they blend into society relatively unnoticed. They can transfer their projected consciousness from body to body via underground cloning centers. In these centers, there are operations in place which make sure reptilian entities have an endless supply of human bodies with the right genetics to inhabit. They also drone the bodies of already established figures. This is where the concept of body snatchers comes from. But the main way they blend in.
All right, so droning. If y'all go to, it was when Young Thug wasn't as hot. I mean, he was starting to bubble, I guess. But there is I think it's called Slime Season. I really could be wrong. I just know that he uses that word. Well, anyway, there's either an album or it's a mixtape. And it has his face, just from the neck up. And there's a blindfold or a bandana or blindfold, whatever you want to call it, piece of cloth, tied over his eyes, right? And you see that, what is it, his left eye? Yeah, his left eye is bleeding. That is a drone. And that right there is them telling you. Matter of fact, while we're here, hopefully it doesn't screw things up, but Young Thug bleeding eye. Boom. Just like that. That right there is, I'm sorry, it keeps on flipping. That is, yeah, it was Slime Season. That, he is not human. I mean, I guess he's partially human. But what happens is, these reptilians, they have a thing called a proboscis, all right? And it comes out of the top of their head, center of their head, all right, maybe like towards their forehead. And it's like a little, I don't know, it's like a fucking wet noodle. I don't know what you want to call it, antenna, proboscis, whatever. And what happens is, it goes into the corner of your eye, like where your tear ducts are. It goes into there, it goes behind your eyeball, and then it wraps around your optic nerve, all right? And then it secretes some type of DNA or whatever juice, DNA, whatever it is, into your optic nerve, and then it's able to push your soul out the way, so to speak. I could be, don't quote me on that, I could be wrong, but it hosts your body. And it takes a little bit of time for these beings to get acquainted with the body, understand how they work, and yada yada yada, whatever. But this is a perfect example. I mean, it's scary, man. But people don't look at it that way. Why would Young Thug, all right, why would he make this his artwork? Where in anywhere, even if I was a rapper, the last picture I'm thinking of taking is a blindfold with blood coming down my eye, his left eye. I guess our right if we're looking at him. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, put yourself in that situation and be like, why would I take a picture like that? It's not because it's art. It's not because it's symbolism, but it's symbolizing he signed up. He sold his soul. He's now droned, and now he's a part of the hive mind. So I just wanted to show you that. But let's go back.
Is by using advanced holographic technology to cloak themselves. Liquid crystals are matter in a state which has properties between those of conventional liquids and those of solid crystals. Scientists for years have been studying liquid crystals for use in 3D holographic technologies. These studies claim that the technology is basic and undeveloped, but keep in mind, what's released to the public is only a fraction of the true technology in operation behind the scenes.
Exactly. From what I understand, they're 1,000 years, if not much farther ahead of everything we got. You wonder why every year a new TV gets developed. The new iPhone comes out. They got, new cars. this and that. You know, just all the material products, all the bullshit that they give to us. You know, it's there's never like, oh nope, we didn't develop it this year, so we're gonna try to make sure we develop it next year. No, it's always on time. There's a reason for that.
An electrical field can be applied to a liquid crystal mixture, altering how this medium bends or refracts the direction of incoming light. Sending laser beams through the crystal mixture can generate what appears to be a holographic image, indistinguishable from a true object.
All right, now what he's about to show you in a second, he's going to show them morphing in front of the camera. The camera, for some odd reason, you know, it makes it, I don't know, it's almost like a window into like seeing them. You know, not to say that you can't see them with your bare eyes, but for some reason the camera, I don't know if it manipulates it or if it's just distorting it or whatever the case is, but you can always see it. He's going to show you right now.
Sometimes there's a breakdown or glitch within this technology, causing the hologram to distort or malfunction.
And I know anybody who doesn't believe is skeptic, you'd be like, well, no, that's not true. This could be a glitch. Well, explain to me why it's only glitching on the human or the entity that's in here and not glitching anywhere else on the screen.
So there is a combination of cloning and holographic technology being used, and while it may sound confusing, it's possible for these entities to move back and forth from cloned physical bodies to less dense four-dimensional bodies which require use of holographic technology. The reptilian humanoid acts through a hive mind. This is the true reason we have organizations, hierarchies, and governments. They band together in these groups, creating bureaucracies and regulations to abide by and keep themselves nourished. This is the only way they can operate. Individually, they are powerless, but...
So, I'm sorry to cut him off in the middle. I just wanted to add something that this is all just pure, I guess, using my knowledge, my imagination, what I know, whatever. I believe that that's why AI was built. AI has a cloud where all the information goes. All right. Now, even though, for instance, Sophia and then the guy that they've made, those are just host or just a physical being to make it look like it's humanoid, whatever. We're in real essence. The AI, it doesn't matter. You could have a million of those in one room, and it's all going to be the same exact thing, as far as because it's. I mean, just it's hard to explain, but think about. Okay, think about the AI. Think of a white cloud. All right, and I'm not saying we're not an actual cloud. I'm just trying to make it physical so you can understand. And the AI exists in there. All right, they built this cloud, so to speak, and the AI lives in there. The information, the being, whatever you want to call it. All right. Now, when they make a robot and they make it so that it's connected to AI, that AI is just able to inhabit that body so that it can, so to speak, exist in the physical world. Um, and I believe that somehow, I'm not sure how it works, but AI is somehow allowing these beings to inhabit them. Whether that's true or not, I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going, like I said, I'm just going off of what I understand and how I perceive everything. Um, and then being the digital shit is also ties into it. But that's just something that I've pondered and pondered and pondered, and not to say that it's completely like it's complete bullshit, but I didn't just pull that out of my ass. I'll just say that.
Together, they are demented, self serving energy parasites that have a lust for death and total control of others, with a pure, unrestricted hatred for humans. Again, this parasitic consciousness cannot influence reality directly. They must manipulate us into influencing it in a particular way. They will never initiate anything first, since the oversoul they are plugged into doesn't have the essence of creation.
Now that's like so important. Okay, the reason why we are in charge, and the reason why there's all propaganda and MK Ultra and you know all types of mind manipulation, propaganda, TV shows that are telling you what to think, radio or not radio, but uh, music, telling you how to feel, what to think, how to dress, so forth and so on. Um, all that is made by us. Now, I'm going to go into a different territory right now, but just bear with me. All right. I'm not saying this is the prime cause of it or anything like that, but I'm just going to say this. All right. There are certain things that are being programmed into our mind that that are being placed there, obviously. Okay. Like for instance, I'm trying to think of. I was going to say something, but I'm not even going to go there. But it's just, I mean, like for instance, like the music, or music in general, it's being forced on you. If you don't like a song, and you hear it a million fucking times, then you're gonna eventually start to like it, or not mind it, I should say. But that's like the whole thing with, the trends and the the trends that go on that none of us would even fathom, but they're placed into our minds so that we and it's persuasive as far as like, oh, you're not cool unless you got uh like for instance, like Louis Vuitton or whatever. You're nobody unless you got designer this and designer that, designer bags and designer shoes and yada 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 yada. It's a bunch of bullshit. But they feed it to you and they make it all shiny, glamoury, and everything else, glamorous. And that's what makes you want it. So then, you feed into it, But that's just like a little example, There's a million things out there that you could give an example on as far as what they're placing in front of us, to make us manifest. So they figure out a way to react with our emotions. They program it a certain way so that we take it a certain way, and then if we accept it, then that's our consent. If we don't accept it, then we don't accept it. But if you're silent, it's also consent, because you're not saying yes or no, you're just letting it go. Whether it's, I don't care because it's not has nothing to do with me. Well, eventually it will. It may be not on a direct scale, it doesn't have anything to do with you, but in the long run, it has everything to do with you. Everything here, because we're all involved one way or another.
Our energy is literally harvested in interdimensional energy centers. When we want to create benevolent, fantastic realities with our divine intent, we are pulling from the energy bank of our oversoul. When the elite want to create malevolent, oppressive realities, they are pulling from the energy bank of the secondary oversoul.